Hello, hello. I'm just getting set up here. Sorry, I'm like distracted. I am late and distracted. But it's kind of funny. I hope you are able to see my stories on Instagram because honestly, there is a very phallic cactus. And just so you know, the water does spray out of the yellow tip. He does technically have a hat, but it's pretty bad. Anyway, link. I think I already copied the link. I did. So we don't actually have that much left to do. I actually took everything upstairs yesterday and ended up doing most of the work when I was sitting with Dallas because he wanted me to come up and see what he had accomplished in his game. Awesome. Happy to do that. Although I did not obviously get on stream then. No big deal. The only things that we need to do now is I need to do a few pocket linings for the wallets. And I honestly think that's everything. I do need to go in and repress a couple pieces for the for something. I think we're going to use this piece here and this piece here for, I'm just going to say F it, and we're going to use those pieces from the mermaid. And then we're going to use, I've got a couple ivory pieces for card pocket backs, which is the other thing that I need to actually get finished is card pocket backs. So let's get the phone in the clamp. And then, hello, welcome to the stream. My hair is a mess. We went out this morning and the kids did pedal bike for a little bit, and then we tried to run with them, and that did not go extremely well, but it happened. We tried. I don't know how it went. All right, let's go show that on the stream. Of course it froze right at the critical moment of me making a judgment call on where it needs to be placed. Tired all. When am I not tired though? I should probably have, yeah. Anyway, I'll probably be on until about 5:30, so just over an hour and a half. Dallas will be making dinner, and then I will come back down and we will work on more stuff. We need to cut the interior blahs, zipper pocket interiors from these for the wallets, and then these two where I was like, why do I not have this cut for the NCW from the mermaid thing? We're going to do the mermaid exterior and the mermaid interior from those. And then those other two ivory pieces where I'm like, what the hell are these for? Are going to become the card pocket backing for two of the wallets over here that do not have card pocket backing because I didn't have enough of the fabric. That's my story. We're sticking to that. And then I got to go in and interface a few more things, and then, or re-adhere interfacing in a couple cases, add a little bit more to the top of those Sheena cuts. But for some reason it really didn't adhere. It's not happy. So I need to go in and actually get that adhered on to the OB piece because obviously that is not going to work. Good morning, or might be afternoon for you now. Oh, sorry. You can hear the kiddos behind me. Apparently I am watching how U.S. farmers harvest billions of pounds of fruit and vegetables. Thank you for the reminder to go over and log into my stream. There we go. All right. So yeah, we're nearly at the end. I did take a quick poke through on the bags that like I cut out when I originally did all of these bags, and I've decided that we're not going to really, we're just going to go, I'm going to jump in both feet, same as what I did before. No fear. Total fear. Total, complete, and absolute fear. I don't think you were around for this the other day, my dear, but we did, we were talking about how I was going to maybe frame some of the obi. I probably will still do that this week, but instead I also ended up with these little acrylic keychains that I can pop scraps of obi into, and they're so flippin' adorable. Okay, so very early morning or very late night. Oh, that's not, okay, that's not quite as bad. Yeah, it's like 3:45 in the afternoon here right now. So we're actually facing out towards the mountains right now. My kids have a little sprinkler cactus, and it is staring at me. It's kind of hilarious because it is extremely suggestive, and it's just sitting back there staring. All right, those are gonna apparently fall and just do their thing. So we're going to cut the 2 card pocket backs that we need from this, and actually then we could, it looks like if I cut this properly I can get like 4 card pocket backs from this, which is awesome. We're going to cut one more set of this for the mermaid, and then we're going to cut the zipper pocket linings from that. Okay, yeah, because this is, it's like a light interfacing though, but everything else had its lining. So I'm just going to ignore that, and we're just going to cut it in absolute fear that I actually cut it for something else. But you know, when am I not worrying about that sort of thing? Katie's brain is, she's like actually cutting stuff down to make things with. Oh, apparently that also needs a freaking, okay, so this also needs to be re-adhered, so we'll pull that out. I'll cut everything down, and then I will go in and I will get everything re-adhered that needs to be re-adhered. I'm going to put this in the middle because I did not open up that seam allowance, and then we're going to go in with the area erasing marker, and then I am not going to cut this with my rotary cutter because it's fighting me and I still have not changed the blade. Haha. So we have finally hit summertime here. I think it's, yeah, it's saying right now that's about 21 degrees outside, which actually is cooler than it was yesterday. Yesterday it hit about 26 degrees Celsius, and then we had an absolutely amazing Northern Lights show last night. The peak was supposed to be around midnight, but honestly I was up to go to the washroom around 3, and it was like bright enough that I could see it without my glasses, which is intense because I normally can't see anything without my glasses. Like the computer being as far away from me right now as it is blurry. So that was pretty cool. I was seeing photos from it from like Banff National Park and stuff like that, and apparently it was absolutely just like spectacular. So but the highway last night was insanely busy. I think mostly heading out towards like places where it was less light pollution and stuff like that. So our neighbors had their deck lights on, so we couldn't see it very well at 11:30, but it also just wasn't. Apparently it was one of those situations though that it was like wait and wait and wait, and then just suddenly like, or it wasn't like super impressive, and then it just suddenly was impressive. So I was in bed at that point because the kiddos actually let us go to bed early last night. All right, there is the last of the rounds for the NCWs. And then that is stuff for me to keep. So I actually do have 2 bins now, one for garbage and one for keep stuff. That is not very even, so I am going to trim it down. Okay, we're going to keep it there. And then I'm just going to finesse it on this end here. No. Scissors, apparently. Okay, no, it's like... whatever, let's just ignore it. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Card pocket backing. I'm pretty sure if I cut it here, we're good. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Sweet. Okay, so I'm going to use the square because it is going to be a very tight cut. Are you lined up on the back? Yeah. Well, it's a tight cut in here, not up and down. There's a lot of fabric up and down. So let's line up this top edge and then pop this here. Yeah. Sweet. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the actual thing here. Apparently it is a little bit crooked on its placement. So today was cake making day. Made a cake for my youngest because we're having their birthday party tomorrow. And the request was for a robot cake. So we have a robot cake. I actually got a really good gray color. The cake, I did one of the like make your boxed cake better recipe sort of things, and it is so good. It's not even funny how much better it tastes. So I'm excited for that. The gray icing turned out very well. It's very like metallic-y. I think the only thing I could have done that would have made it look even more metallic is if I had gotten some like pearl dusting, but whatever. We've got gummies on it. I'm hoping that they don't bleed into the cake. I do feel like that might be an issue, but you know what? I'll learn. If it does, then I won't do it again. Yeah, and then the eldest's request for a cake was for mermaids, and that's actually honestly going to probably be easier because I'll make cupcakes and put them in the shape of a mermaid tail more or less, and then I'm going to do a basically just gloops of icing so that it's like it looks like mermaid scales. I'm excited to make that one because I think it's going to be way easier. Okay, so those are cut down and done. Now there is one more cut to do on the actual interiors of the NCW cuts, the rounded cuts, but I will do that when we're at the computers when I know which is going with what. Basically, it just leaves it an easier turning thing. Okay, and then I need, for the zipper pocket, I need 2 8x4, and then we need a bunch of zipper ends. Scoot this over, and then yeah, so I need 2 8x4 per wallet. I think the ones, so I freaked out last night because I was like, oh, I don't have fabric for the last one, and then I remembered that I do already have fabric for the other one. It's just it's down in the sewing studio because reasons, very good reasons, but reasons. Okay, so the lining is what I say. It's like 8x4. 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 So 8x4 is actually 8x8 essentially. So I'm going to cut this down to 8.5 by 8.5, and then we'll do the finesse cut. Because then I think actually that is very likely yeah, it's right there, to be honest. Okay, because okay, I think I might be able to get like 12 inches out of this, so I think, oh, definitely 100%. Okay, sweet. So it's closer to 13 inches, so we're gonna cut a strip at 8 inches, and then I'll cut it down into the 4-inch increments. Okay, so here is 8 inches. Is this a professional way to move a ruler? 100% not. Is it how we're doing it? 100%. Okay, and then we're going to cut it down into 4-inch increments. And what I say, I needed 4 more. So we'll need 2 per. 2 per. 4 more. So we need 8. So this will be 3. And then we'll do 6, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is 4. Here. Then we're going to need zippers. And we need the zipper tabs. That was the other thing that I need. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. Just as a heads up, I was having some tech difficulties of seeing the chat the other day. So I'm going to switch over from my streaming program to my viewing. So hopefully I catch anything not happening or happening in the chat. All right, 1, 2, and 3. What did I say? I need 8. So we're going to probably end up with like 9, but whatever. That's fine. Okay, no, that's not the end I cut from. This is the end I cut from. Okay, and then we're going to actually lay this piece out right here, because that'll give me a very clear line that will connect the like ruler to the rest of it. There we go. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, actually I can just do this. Okay, so there's 6. And then we'll just shuffle this over, and then we'll trim it down based on those so that they all match. Sweet. Okay, yeah, I do think I had interfaced some of this to be pockets for the Heidi, but I don't know what happened. I've got more than enough fabric interfaced for everything, so I'm not worried about it. Okay. Now, as much as I said that I would not be experiment sewing with the ones that have already been cut out, I think I will actually finish sewing them, because then hey, there's some product done like instantly. So watch for that. You may not have seen me cut it, but like in the next week or 2 or 3 or 4, or put months behind that instead, I will try and get them done as well. Okay, so there's all the pocket linings for those things. And actually this will be good lining probably for the Kyoto bags that I'm making out of the obi. And if not the Kyoto bags, then the pockets. Okay, so I need to step away. I need to go re-adhere the interfacing on this floral. And I also need to put a little bit more interfacing on the very top of a couple of the cuts for the Sheena, because apparently I did not fully interface all the way up or / adhere it down when I originally did the adherence. So I'm going to do BRB. I will be back in like 10 minutes maybe. And then actually, yeah, and the next time you see me, we will be at the sewing desk. So I'm going to go re-adhere these, and then I'll move us over to the sewing desk, because there's no point in sitting here. Because it's done. I'm done. The cutting. Yay. Okay. Be right back. Oh yeah, and I'll mute the mic too, so you don't have to listen to me moving everything around. All right, I'm back. I did say that I was going to end up going over to the sewing desk. So if you heard that, I was incorrect. I forgot that I actually need to go in and do all the card slot folding for the wallets. So basically we're going to take this nice long strip that I've cut already. I'm going to actually shuffle me up over in this corner because there we go. That's better. Anyway, we're going to take these long rectangles and we're going to make the card pockets out of them. So we should have 4 pieces of each because we've got 4 wallets, so 2 and 2 pockets. And what ends up happening is they go from that to, oh, where'd they go? I just had the like demo pieces for it because I just put them under the press. So they go from this to this, and that's what actually makes the card pocket. All right, I do actually need my preview because apparently my latency is quite high right now. Zing. Don't understand how I can't actually stretch this out so I can see the chat when I can also see my stuff. There we go. Okay, that's a bit better. Okay, so yeah, so that's what we're going to make out of these. It's a very specific process with a bunch of measurements. Another reason to like get the acrylic template eventually. And then these I'm going to trim down scraps of stabilizer because we also need stabilizer scraps to go in so that we can install the magnetic snaps. Now typically I would end up using the rivet snaps. I am low on rivet snap stock though, so we're just going to use the old-fashioned prong type. They work just as well, so it's all good. I was back in the cutting studio being like, where? So I freaked out last night because I was like, well, I don't have all of the interiors that I need for these wallets because I have like 5 wallets and I only have 4 interiors to cut. And then I remembered that the red and white, there was one already done. So I'm like, okay, right, that's fine. It's downstairs. And then I was done. I'm just doing this right now and I'm like, where did it go? And it slipped off the cutting table. So all's well that ends well for now, but I was just like slight panic mode. I also think since I don't have other tags for these right now, I'm going to go with an interior tag on the zipper pocket with like the Atelier Nekuzuki logo. I think that's going to work the best. And I'll probably start adding those in future as well, along with an exterior tag too. But for now, I just don't have any other tags. Well, I have one left, but I'm not going to do it. Hello, how are you? We're working on getting necessary clutch wallets completed right now. I've got everything. Oh, I don't have zipper tabs cut out, but I guess we'll figure that out in a few minutes. Okay, so the top wrong side of fabric. So now I gotta go in and I gotta do these measurements. If you do not see me for a couple minutes, that's because I'm concentrating. That also looks like it is very crooked, but it shouldn't be. No, we're good. I think we're good. Okay. So we need to go down. Dahlia, we love you, but you are being a pest and getting in the way, honey bunches. I don't know how else to tell you this. Okay. So first line. And then we need to go down here to the second line. And then we need to go down to this line, like that. Dahlia. Okay. Dahlia. My goodness, kitty cat. I love you too, but come on. Okay. And then I do typically have a seam roller to like seam roll these out, but I do not know where it is right now. That's part of what I need to find when I do my studio cleanup and probably invest in a couple more. I've got my Cricut brayer instead, so we're going to use that because why not? All right, and then what's the last one? It's another short one. Okay, sweet. Yes, ma'am, your tail. It actually looks like it might rain outside, which would be insane. That is not straight. Okay. So like I said, this felt crooked, but it's not. Okay, so let's remeasure all these lines just to make sure I'm on track for what I'm supposed to be. There we go. And then this is going to be the smaller one. Okay, yeah, it's straight. There, now it's very straight, very straight. Okay. And then we do the next one. High stakes, folks. If you hear me holding my breath, that's why. Okay, no, that is not square even to the fabric. Okay, there we go. All right, there, that's where it started to go wrong. And this is why that template would be handy. Okay, 1 and a bit. Just like that. Like I said, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to ignore the chat. I have to keep up the measurements or else I'm going to lose track, and that's not fun for anyone, especially since we already had to redo it anyway. I'm going to try to avoid redoing it again. Okay, there we go, there we go, there we go. Good. Zip, zip, good. And then there, and there, and there. All right, sweet. Okay, now we're good. So now because this is an area erasing marker, we're going to go in and fold it right away. So I will come back to the chat. And then how do you want me to fold it? Do you want me to fold it 6 lines? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Flip the rectangle over so there's no right side up and start folding on first line from the left. Okay. Kato problems. Yep, 100%. She's a pest, but we adore her, so she gets away with a lot. She's also my old lady cat now. She's like at least probably about 11, we think, because that was the best guess when we got her from the shelter. Okay. That should have been taken out earlier, but apparently I didn't get it earlier. So let's try and take it out now. I'm also going to turn on the ring light because it is actually getting dark in here. Like I said, there's a bunch of, looks like it could rain. I don't think it's supposed to, but it's definitely not as like bright as when I came down. Okay, and then we're going to just trim off that end because I think it's knotted on the back. That's what's giving me issues. Okay, and then they want me to fold it from the top here. So we've got those lines, and then the big thing that we have to do here, or I have to do here, the royal we, me, myself, and I, and you as the viewers, need to keep it straight, or as straight as we can at least, because that is where issues come in. And right away, we aren't straight, but we are square to the fabric. So who knows? I don't know anymore. We'll just do the best we can. Okay, I'm supposed to fold the first from the left. It says press with your iron as you go. No, we're going to use the brayer, which is basically a seam roller. I was going to grab myself some clips, and I totally forgot to do that, and that totally misaligned it. So we're going to avoid the brayer and just fold it. That is why I use this a little bit more papery 809 dupe, though, is because it's like ability to fold is really good. Okay, I see. So that is the top of the pocket. And right now what we're doing is we are creating the cascade of pockets for the card pockets. Okay. So there's one. Okay, and then we've got to try and make sure that this is as square as possible. There we go. Next one. Sweet, that one's super square. Awesome. I like when they line up and I don't have to do much work to line them up. Okay, and then we're going to fold the next one. Basically, just actually, there we go. You know what would work probably better for this is like a hair knife or something like that, which is something that paper crafters use to basically score the paper, and that would probably actually work really, really well for this one. Maybe next time I get to Michael's, that's something that I will pick up. Because why not? It's worth a try if it saves me some work, that's for sure. Or grief while I'm working, basically. Because the pen has actually more or less scored it anyway if I press hard enough. So, all right, now I'll go in with the brayer because I think we're actually pretty square. Square enough, I think. And this does get trimmed down a little bit before I put it in the wallet, so I'm not... The squaring up is mostly to make sure that the pocket tops are straight, more than actually almost in some ways making sure that the sides are straight. But yeah, we've got a nice straight pocket there. All right, so in this case, because I don't have clips, I'm going to throw them under the... Oh no, I can't because I need that. Okay, we're going to throw them under the shears because that will help them, at least they're folded. That'll help keep them in line. I'll throw some batteries on top. There we go. I will jerry rig a solution. We're fine. All right, next one. Just a heads up, I will only be on until about 5:30. Dallas is going to be making dinner, and then I will be back downstairs because he's going to do bedtime with the kiddos and all that good stuff. Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to come down here. So far, so good for the squaring up, it looks like, except not. What is... I thought this was square. Did I not properly square these up last night? Hi, cat. We love you too. I promise. We do love you. No, that is square, or at least as square as I am going to get my fabric. All right, so that is a non-square line. What the heck? Right? So if I lay that there, then we should be good. Yeah, we're good. Weird. Okay. Well, let's square it up into the corner here, and then I will work from that. Instead, oh, it is slightly off. Okay. So we'll square it up based on the mat, since the top and bottom lines are definitely square. And then, aha, there we go. Okay, so that line. And then we do... I need to do that line again, so I know which one I'm using. Just one corner that was a little bit angry. Okay, and then we're going to do this line. Make sure it's square, making sure it's square, squared up, squared up. Good. Press really hard because that, like I said, will kind of score it for me. Squared up, squared up, squared up. So I was, because I'm poking around the idea of going to Japan in November again, I was checking out not flights, but hotels on the Aeroplan site, because if you book through the Aeroplan site, you sometimes get pretty good air miles amounts. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5, 6. And but the cheapest place in Osaka that's in this program was $10 per night, and I'm like, no. I can afford to pay a little bit more than that. I don't even actually know the location of it. I should have seen if it was like prime location or something, but I'm like, looked at the photos and it was just like, no, I think I'm good. Also don't need to go that desperately that is what I will book. I was realizing probably why, because I was like, why is Kyoto like 3 times the price in September versus October. But I realized that the previous November trips that I've actually made, I've never actually stayed in Kyoto. Well, I stayed in 2022, but 2022 was a very special time. Yeah, okay, so we start with this one. Hotel prices were like definitely decreased so that to attract people in, sort of thing. Especially because they just reopened October 11th. So I got like some killer deals on some very expensive hotels, or a very expensive hotel. I think I paid a little bit more than I normally would. So normally I like to be around the $100 mark, but I paid about $150 for like a $500. What I have now learned is about a $500 room, and I'm like, oh, special times. Anyway, but in the past when I've gone in November, like Dallas and I have always stayed in Osaka, which that would explain why I got a little bit sticker shock looking at the Kyoto hotel prices, because I was like, why November's like, it's popular in Japan, I guess, but it's not like it's like the thing that foreigners really think of when they're going to Japan, because we mostly think of like sakura and flowers and everything, but November is momiji season, and so it's very popular for domestic tourism, and Kyoto obviously, and very rightly so, is definitely known for its momiji season too. So it's like, damn it. When I was looking, I was originally going to be going in October, but then Dallas went to work, and they went, you have work, you have to stay over for that week. And it's like, oh, well, that puts a kibosh on those plans. All right. Next. Okay. I guessed the right number for doing the things, which is awesome. It is square. It is square. I don't know why I keep capping the area racing marker, because it's not like I need to, since we're just continuing to work with it. I just gotta cap it at the end. Some days. Okay, square. Anyway, I'm a little bit later today because we are having the party tomorrow for my youngest, and technically Dallas too. It's like kind of a joint birthday party. What was I going to say about that? There's something very important to say about that, and I can't remember what it was. Anyway, we're going to do a joint birthday party. Oh, why I'm later today is because we obviously had to do some house tidy. Well, we're mostly clean now, so that's good. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because we end with a short one, or smaller. Yeah. Yeah, we like tidy up, and then we'll wrap on the cleaning tomorrow, like doing the floors and stuff like that, because there's 0 point in doing it tonight because the kids will probably destroy it just via being children, and that's fine. We are going to go do a 5K tomorrow for Mother's Day, and then I told Dallas that if we're doing a 5K, we're going to go for fluffy pancakes afterwards, and so that's what we're doing. I'm very excited. There's like a fluffy pancake chain in Calgary, and it's called Fua Fua. Went with a friend a few weeks, well, probably a couple months ago now, and it's delicious, and I'm super excited for that. Definitely more excited for fluffy pancakes than I am for running a 5K. I don't mind running. It'll feel good to run, actually, because I haven't been running much since I'm doing so much for the May Movement Challenge at the study, so it'll feel good, I think. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. Who knows if it will or not. Woo! It's like, oh, you want me to stay closed? Hell to the no. I'm not going to stay closed. Okay, I'm going to put the shears on one side and the batteries on the other side. And before we move them, I will stand up and I will grab the clips, because that's what's going to hold it in place until I sew it, basically. All right, so square up to that. Square up to that line. Square it up. Square it up. We're good. This needs to go in to here. No, it is not fully square. Okay, well, we'll just take a little bit more off. Basically, it's not exactly straight across the top. So we'll go off of where it's supposed to be. And these typically do need a bit of a trim down before I sew anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, so longer, or like wider, narrower. And if you're like, Katie, have you thought of going to Japan with a friend? Yes, I have, actually, because that would actually cut the cost of the hotel significantly. But I am very much craving the solo trip. I did that solo trip in November of 2022, and now I'm like, when's my next one? Especially because it would just be a blast in and a blast out. I will not be going to Tokyo this trip, I don't think. It would just basically fly in and out of Osaka, which would save me a significant amount of time and energy. And basically the first day would be Toji. And then I would top up with Nomura Taylor and Taylor House. Both Nomura Taylor. So Nomura Taylor House, and then probably a trip to like Ushuaia. And then the rest of it would kind of just be some tourism, which would be nice as well. I could save one day by not doing as much tourism, but no. That'll give everything an opportunity to actually get to the airport from shipping it from like Kyoto and stuff like that. Because what I figured out is that there's a kuroneko, which is, so when you're in Japan, you can ship your luggage around ahead of you and like to the airport and everything like that. So you don't have to deal with it on the trains. So if I leave myself enough time, it takes 2 days transit time from like the metropolitan centers into the airports. Fair enough. So if I leave myself enough time, I don't even have to deal with my luggage. And given that I'll do the shopping the first couple of days, I think that will be amazing and achievable. So, all right. 4 more card pockets, and then I need to do okay, I'm going to do it this way so that we end up, because it's kind of gradient down into that. And that's what's going to be more visible too once we fold it. Yeah. Okay. And so I'm kind of leaning towards, I think I'll do some live stream from Toji because that's kind of cool. I'm going to go do Fushimi Inari. I don't know how I will do Fushimi Inari. I'm definitely not going to hike it. I don't think I have, well, if I have the time I will, but it is not a short hike. So I think I might skip the hiking. But I do need to go do a prayer and everything like that and get my prayer board reestablished there. What else would I be doing? And I will probably be staying in my university town from when I was an exchange student there. So I'll do some like touring around there a little bit and stuff like that. The thing that popped into my head the other day that I thought would be really cool is I'm like craving the walk up from Hirakata station. And like Sun Plaza and stuff like that. And I'd be staying at the Sun Plaza Hotel, and so that would be perfect. And there is an amazing Indian food restaurant in Hirakata, and it's right across from the university, so I'd walk up there and have dinner there. And the other fun thing is that, at least with Hirakata, is like most of the chain foods that I would like to eat are all in there too. Although there are some new places in Kyoto I want to try out, so probably the thing why I was like pushing so hard to try and figure out if I could stay in Kyoto versus Osaka is that going into Kyoto takes an extra like hour one way to go. But I also don't want to suck up an extra 2/3 of the cost. Like literally, the hotel I'm looking at, it's right across from Nomura Taylor, perfectly placed. October, it's like $85 or $90. Again, so these are cap problems, whatever. But you look at it for November and it's like $250. And I'm just like, no, even for an hour transit time, it's like the transit itself is like $8 one way, so maybe 1,600 yen, both like round $20, say, and even less right now because the exchange rate on the yen for even Canadian to yen is friggin' amazing. I think it's one of the best exchange rates I've seen for yen ever. Pretty sure I saw it hit $1, like, so per US dollar it would be like 160 yen, so nearly double. Usually I do par plus, well, plus or minus sometimes, but right now it's like par plus 15%. So why I call it par is basically most of the time once everything comes out in the wash, it's like $1 Canadian goes to 100 yen US, 100 yen. That actually looks so good. I'm really glad. Oh, so good. But anyway, so it's like, the exchange rate's really good. I don't know where I was going with that. I was going somewhere with it, but it left as soon as I saw how gorgeous this was. And since it's a cat problem, it's not important. I am watching all the Boeing stuff right now, though, because I absolutely adore the Dreamliner, and it's flying. That would be the plane that I'd be on for November. Oh, right. I was talking about how it was like less than $20 a day to get back and forth to Kyoto from Osaka. And so it's just like, it's kind of a no shit situation of like, why would I stay and pay 3 times the price for a hotel in Kyoto when I could just pay $20 extra to get back and forth. And Hirokata is on one of the private train lines, which is called the Keihan. And it's, oh, right. Is this patterned? No, we're good. Yeah, it's on the Keihan, and the Keihan basically goes everywhere, like directly everywhere I want to go. So that is a huge plus as well. And hey, I'll get to record a different train line for y'all. This is the kind of train that has like super fancy seats and like super comfy, and I love the Keihan. Yeah. I love the train systems in Japan anyway, but the Keihan holds a special place in my heart because obviously it's what I used consistently to get into Kyoto and Osaka, and it's super comfortable. And then what was the other thing? Oh yeah, and staying in Hirokatashi versus like directly in Osaka, there's like hotels around Yodoyabashi and stuff like that, which is a major train stop in Osaka. But staying there actually adds about 15 to 20 minutes extra. So if I'm like, it's a comparable price and a little bit cheaper in some ways to stay in Hirokatashi or Hirokata, and it's just got a bunch of benefits. So I'm like, all right. And I'm thinking that's very likely when we go for I don't know if we're going to stay in Kyoto or Osaka when we eventually go for our family trip as well. Dallas wants to go stay in Osaka. And they do have some good family rooms, thankfully, because I was like, I don't want to stay in the same style of room that we stayed in when we were there for like 2 weeks. But I don't know. Because I also wouldn't mind staying in this hotel now that I've found across from Nomura. So, although I do think that the Keihan might be more convenient in general. Because at this point, I don't think we'll even be using the JR pass. I definitely, like, even for this week trip, will not be purchasing a JR pass because it's like, you would have to be basically using the Shinkansen for long distance travel, like every day of the trip practically, to make it worthwhile. And it's just like, especially for these dash-in trips where I'm just buying fabric and like the price difference for me to go directly into Osaka versus going into Narita and then taking the train down to Kyoto, it actually saves me a significant amount of money to well, it saves me $300. It saves me basically my hotel cost to fly into Osaka instead of Tokyo and then take the train down. And again, that time and stress as well. Now, don't get me wrong, though. I would much prefer the train versus the flight. It is kind of hilarious. So the only reason that this will work out cheaper for me, realistically, is that I will be buying my flights with air miles. And so the taxes and fees are like a $10 difference. And so it makes it actually something that I can even think about doing this year. Otherwise, I would much prefer to be getting on the plane. Or on the train, not the plane. So... Although it's very interesting because it's like, the first time we're looking to go as a family, we want to go for like the marathons, which are in February. And I was like, why is it so stinking expensive to get flights to Tokyo in February? And I was talking with a friend and she's like, Lunar New Year. And I was like, oh. So I went and looked at the flights. Like, if you book a day off of the week, basically the week right around Lunar New Year is absolutely insane. Like, height of cherry blossom flight prices, like $2,500 round trip sort of flights, when like for cash for November would be about $1,600 to $1,700 from Calgary. Not cheap, but definitely not $2,500. But if we flew down, so if we were to actually get from Calgary to Vancouver, Vancouver to Tokyo, Tokyo to Osaka, it's like $500 cheaper than that even. So I was like, okay. Still pretty spendy, but like if you watch for sales and other sundries, it would be really good. Hello, now the other cat is visiting. And realistically, as long as we budget for it, it'll be fine. Hi, what's up? I'm really annoyed because I did have enough air miles to get us all into Japan for the longest time, and now air miles are like worth way less. So we're gonna change our whole point structure, but we don't have enough of the new points to get any flights with yet. I looked at the flying with Aeroplan for November, and they have a bunch of business seats for 50,000 air miles. I have like 13,000. I'm like, okay, that's feasible that I could get more. But the stopover place is San Fran, flying with United, and I'm just like, you guys have had too many issues. Like, not only is the Boeing having issues, United was having issues with their Boeings because of their maintenance department. And I'm like, nope. I will spend the extra air miles to go with Air Canada. Thank you. Although it would have been nice. The other issue there being that I don't know how customs works with me carrying commercial like goods to be made into other things back with me if I was to fly through the States. I'm like, maybe as just a tourist it would be a good deal, but not with all the other issues. So that brings me full circle back to how I've been like eyeballing the Boeing issues. Apparently that there's issues with like the 777 and the 787, which is the Dreamliner. The Dreamliner is my absolute favorite plane of the Boeing fleet, and now I'm like, because I was like, yes, it's flying in November. This will be awesome. It's such a comfortable plane, blah, 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 blah. And then I find out that there's been whistleblower reports about it too. It does look like it's probably something that is not something that has to be worried about right now. But it's just like this whole thing, right? Actually, I do think that the other flight that was going out of San Fran was on an Airbus. But it's still with United. That doesn't mean that their maintenance problems still aren't happening with the frickin' Airbuses. And Airbuses have had a significant number of issues as well. So, whatever. It's still safer than driving, and it's kind of like, what choice do I have if I want to travel quickly? It's not like I have the time to go on a 2-week cruise to Japan. There is a 2-week cruise to Japan, but it also leaves from like Alaska. And I don't even want to think about the cost of that. Actually, I think I did look at it. I think it's like $14,000. Like, all right then. No, that is not the way I want to spend my money right now. This is one of those situations where it's like, if I won the lottery, I wouldn't tell anyone I won, but there would be signs. ridiculous. It is interesting though, because I was complaining about this earlier in the year, and then I had that realization of like, do you know what realistically though is that like my flight prices haven't actually changed that much since I went on exchange 15 years ago. So I'm complaining about like $1,500 flight prices, because I am, and fairly enough, because I used to be able to book for around 1,000. So that's where the sticker shock comes in. But like the flight prices hadn't actually gone up that much for 15 years, because when I booked my flight to Japan for exchange, it was $1,200 round trip. So like that does put a little bit of perspective on it. It still sucks. I'm not going to say it's not a cat problem, but it is both a cat problem. And I know, I love you too. Your head feels like it's better, hey? You still got scabbies. Let's see. Okay, we'll clean that up again tonight. Fluff, 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 fluff. At least you're not shedding anymore. It doesn't have a bunch of big mats. All right, get out of the way. Come on. Do you want me to clear off the stool for you? Come down here. Oh, cat, come on. I am nearly done my work so that we can start sewing. Although I think Dallas is probably going to start cooking soon. Actually, that works out perfect. We'll get the rest of these card wallets. Sorry. Card pockets folded. There's cat hair everywhere now. And then we'll get the magnetic snaps installed, and then it'll probably be dinner time, which I'm excited for because I'm hungry. Hungry, hungry, hungry. Which is also still a cat problem. Flynn, leave it alone. Hey, just you. It's like scratching at the front of my stock drawers. Oh, it's already off. Okay. Anyway, so that's the latest adventure in the whole. Is Katie going to Japan? Is Katie not going to Japan? I don't know when I will actually pull the trigger on a trip to Japan. The business is doing very well. Thank you, everyone who has been supporting me, because that is the only way I'm able to even think about this. But I don't know what the actual, I'm going to call this and be like, yes, this is what I'm doing, point is yet. Probably after Knit City. So basically what I can do is I'll go in and I'll book my hotels. They don't open the booking for the Hirokata Sun Plaza until 3 months in advance. So I'll probably wait until, well, I'll wait until they open that up, obviously, and I'll book it because it has free cancellation. Not a big deal. And then I will just wait on flights until I really know. Mostly we also have to see what our property tax bill is this year, because the assessment went up significantly, and they're upping the amount that we actually are supposed to pay for tax too. And it's like, oh, you guys, what services are you providing extra for this extra tax? Because realistically, the infrastructure changes that they're doing right now are not a town thing, it's a provincial thing. So I'm like, I don't know where this money is going to be going. I guess I could look it up. I should look at the breakdown of where our property taxes actually go. So, probably would. Dude, stay off the laptop. Okay, I need to stop complaining. Cat probleming. And I'm going to go grab some clips so that this doesn't spring up on me, because apparently there is now enough force here that it might just go poof. Don't eat the phone and don't wiggle it. You're going to make people sick, because people get motion sick. I don't think you have a concept of motion sickness. Why do you smell funky? What have you been in? Not funky in a bad way, but funky like incense funky. Or the incense we use in the house sometimes. Or soap. What the heck, dude? What have you been in? All right, I'm going to go get clips and magnetic snaps. Oh, these cats, guys. we were having the chat about whether it be the kids, the cats, or me that would be the death of me, considering that like I don't set aside my stuff properly to tell me what is supposed to go with what. It's like it's probably going to be some sort of combo of the three. Not the death of me. Send me around the bend. It'll probably be me, mostly. But it's funny to think about. Not really. It's not really funny. Okay, yeah, those pockets with that speckle are like spectacular. Haha, spectacular. So this is actually a kimono that I purchased when I was on exchange there. However, it has sat in my storage box for nearly 15 years, 14 years right now. And so I was just like, do you know what? It needs to be out. Well, I needed more kimono for lining. First things first, I needed more kimono for lining. Second things, it was like, it's just sitting there. So why not make the stuff out of it, sort of thing. So here we are, we cut it up. Same as the gray actually as well. Although I have fussy cut this a little bit more than I did the blue because it's got some like floral embroidery on it that I really want to preserve. So I didn't really use that yet because I didn't need to either. And I just remembered that I still have that green one that I had purchased to be like, this is what a kimono looks like when you dress it on like a mannequin or something. Which actually I should still do, but I've got my personal kimono that I could do that with and take photos of and things like that. So, yeah. Oh, I'm getting hungry. There we go. Make sure everything's fairly squared up and that the main thing is making sure that these card pocket lines are straight as well. Because it would look really bad to have crooked card pocket lines. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do this. Folded everything, and now I'm going to do bloody blahs. What are the bloody blahs that we need to do? Snaps. We need to do the magnetic snaps. That's the bloody blahs. Okay, so we need to do... Done. So we're going to pull exteriors of the thingamabobbers because the things don't do the things, and we need zipper tabs. That's right. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so this is the actual exterior flap. We are not putting the magnetic snap through here. We would if it was a rivet, but we're not because it's not a rivet. Rivet. So I need your interior pieces, my lovely, lovely wallets, and there is some pocket pieces. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of pull stuff as I find it because there's no point in leaving it down there if I have it. Okay, so there's one piece. Go away, please. Thank you. Then I think actually I need to, no, I can do the, no, I think I can do the installation on the actual body afterwards. That doesn't feel right, but maybe, I don't know. Okay, so there's all the exteriors, and actually we can do the cut that will be the turning cut here while I'm thinking about it as well. Okay, let's make sure everything's paired up correctly and blah, blah, blah. Just got a text. It's just Dallas being like, I give them freezies because it's hot. They're hot. And it's like, yeah, that's fair. It's just like, are we close to dinner time? Because then that will time correctly for me, hopefully. Okay. Ding, ding. When am I supposed to install the snaps? Snappity snap, snaps. Right now. Oh, yait. Okay, so we'll do them. Okay. If installing a heavy duty snap. No. 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 I think I might need to go get the... Do you have it on the pattern pieces? I know that you've got the... Oh, there's the snap placement. Oh, okay. Okay, so I was following the snap placement instructions from Okla Roots, I think. But no, I just... Whew, okay. Brain just like decided to just shut down, basically. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 3 exteriors. There should be that 4th one around here. There should be a 4th and a 5th one. Apparently there's not right now. Okay, but then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good enough. Because these don't need to have the snaps installed on them. They just need to be installed on here. Except I just realized that the flaw in that plan is the fact that I need to sew these. Okay, we're going to sew them and then I will install the snap, because I just realized what needs to happen is I need to sew them and trim them down, and then I'll know where the actual snap needs to go. And then I can still install the snap on the other side. I could trim them down right now. Well, but then I would have to trim them down again. If I trim them down after, I can do it with the pinking shears and they'll basically be done. Okay, so let's do that instead. So no magnetic snap installment right now. Installing. We need zipper tabs. That's what I needed. So the actual cuts that I need for the zipper tabs is I need 2 sets of gray and 2 sets of blue and 1 set of this floral. It's like floral within floral. But the floral within floral we're just going to do out of this gorgeous red. That will be enough right there. I've got a crap ton of blue that we can use. Of all sorts. There we go. So there's at least 2 pieces. That looks like 3 and 4 right there, because they only need to be like 1 by 1.5 or something like that. So that should be more than enough. Yeah, close enough. Basically, it just has to cover the zipper. So that'll be for the florals. These will be for the blue, and then I need the offcuts from the gray, which are right here. Actually, it looks like that one might be better. Yeah. Okay, so I need 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 from the gray, I think. How many do I need? I need 4 per, so I need 8, 8, and 4. 1 by 1.5. Okay. So I need this and this, and then we're going to cut them down. So we need 1 by 1.5, which means that each, so 1 by 3 would be 4 in this case. Okay, sweet. So there's 1 set there, and then we'll trim it in the middle. And I'll trim it down to the proper width. And then there is a second set right here. Perfect. There we go. Okay. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, 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 ding. Close enough. There we go. Done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, which will become 8 because we still have to cut them in half. But first, I'm going to trim them down to 1 inch wide. Need this. We're gonna tippy tappy here so that it's actually aligned. Again, as best as I can be. It's fabric. It really does have a mind of its own. And actually, I'm going to scoot it in a little bit because it's a zipper tab. It's going to get sewn in. You're not going to see it. So let's do that. There we go. Then we can take these and fold them in half and cut them in half. And there are our zipper tabs. And these are going to be very sturdy zipper tabs because they've got the paper backing on them. So 2 and 4. So 4 and 4. I can take a couple clips and we're going to clip them to the actual like zipper pockets here. Like this. And then we're going to also clip that to the card pocket backing because why not? It's already here. Those are scraps from my friend. Scraps from my friend. I don't need them. I have enough scraps to last me a lifetime and probably more. Probably more. Okay. So this needs 4 and there is a very nice 1-inch piece right there. And then we're going to go to the 3-inch mark so that we can cut them in, trim them down and cut them in half afterwards. Okay. And then there's still enough there to go in that acrylic keychain because that's totally what we're going to do with the rest of that. Okay, so there's 1 inch. And there's 1 inch. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place this right here on like the skinniest amount of fabric on that 1 inch line that we have. There we go. Then we need to do it on this side, like this. Actually, yeah, you know what? The enticement of being able to do a solo trip to Japan is like definitely going to drive me over the summer to make as much as I can. To sell as much as I can, too. Because it'll be like, I can taste it. Literally. I'm going to go eat food in Japan. That is the motivation. If I ever knew one. Okay, so that red one is going to go with that other one. And that makes total sense. It's not going to go with that gray. Let's do a keychain cut down while I've got it sitting right in front of me. Come here. This is very scientific because I totally have a template for it already. No, I don't. Those are complete lies. Although actually I could make a template out of the stabilizer right here. Let's do that because we have it right here. I also should have theoretically an air eraser marker, but do I? No. There we go. Why are you not cranky about the super thick stabilizer? Just cranky about fabric right now. I do not understand rotary cutter blades. Okay. I'm going to line it up here with the bottom this way because there's a little like doohickey here, which I think is what squishes to actually lock everything in place. But that does mean that I don't end up being able to cut on that end. Ooh, don't move. Don't slide. I should put a little bit of tape on you so you didn't shimmy. Because this is very tight cutting right now. Okay, there we go. Yeah, sweet. So that is correct. Well, we'll cut it down and we'll cut this down and we'll see if it's right or not. So I'm going to do it this way because I think I can get 2 out of it then. And if I shimmy it up here, I'll be able to get 2, like 2 sets. Basically, what I'm doing. Ooh, sorry, nothing went wrong there. That was just a slam. Scared myself. Ooh. Making sure my heart is still working. And of course it cut. Yeah. This rotary cutter, folks. Cranky about the kimono. And totally just sliced through that stabilizer like it was nothing. Fine. You can go, I don't know. What are you going to go do? Alright. Anyway. So yeah, so now this is like double-sided. It goes into the keychain double-sided. Figure it's a nice little like pickup item. They're super gorgeous most of the time. That's totally not to the right size. So what we're going to do is we are going to lay it here. We're going to do the doohickey end down. Gonna tap it here. And this is why, if you ever wonder why a lot of companies don't work with their scraps, this is probably why, is it takes a lot of, even for something simple like this, it takes a lot of time to finesse it. I thought the cut would be better because of the rotary blade, obviously not. So I think we're just down to, I will still make a template for it because that will make my life easier eventually. But I think we're down to drawing around it with a area erasing marker and then trimming it down with the scissors. There we go. But that is a nice full keychain now. So you get the kimono on both sides. It's actually a really nice, it's not too like feminine either. If you have someone who's like, you want something that is not feminine. If you want something for someone who's not feminine, that's all there is to say about that. Then this would be a good option. In some cases, there's definitely some options for that compared to a lot of the like wallets and like even the fabrics that I use from Japan. I always am trying to keep an eye out for a little bit more gender neutral or masculine fabrics, but like it's tough. I don't have a masculine eye. That is not the way that my gaze has been trained. So it's probably something I will learn. All right, we do not have enough there, so I'm going to say that is all we're going to use from that one. And we're going to put it into the scrap bin for my friend, and that stabilizer cut can also... No, the stabilizer cut can get set aside for snaps later. Okay. We however, could make one out of this one. Well, I've got it out anyway. Oh, threads. Maybe. Can I just... Are these just supposed to be trimmed? Yep. Just trim them off. Go. It does, however, take care of like about a quarter of my large box bag scraps, although they're going to need to be interfaced because the cotton is typically too thin to be like, yeah, it's good. The cotton and cotton linen blends ones are thick enough, but the cottons will need to be like interfaced, I think. There we go. Okay. So now we've learned our lesson. I need a pen. Actually, I can use the area erasing pen right here because this is not like this is going to get hot and reveal the marks again. Then we're going to go around the case. It probably needs to be stepped in a piece. And so I really should be probably cutting on the inside of this mark, and that would be the way to do it, sort of thing. So let's try that because like realistically this is the outside of the frame and that's part of why it's going to be angry and need to be cut down a bit. So let's go on the very inside of that line. There we go. And then this way as well. Now you're like, Katie, you could do double-sided fusible interfacing. 100%. I could also make a template and realistically throw these under the Cricut, and that is probably what I will do in future. But right now, that's not going to make my brain happy. This is, for some reason, very much making my brain happy right now. It's just all these little cuts of obi and kimono. Okay. I think, oh, it's still just a tick too long. Okay, the width is perfect. Okay, but that is the way to do it then, is that I need to cut it just on the inside of the frame lines. There we go. Okay. Let's try that again. One more trim down. Okay, this part doesn't make my brain happy. But when it fits, my God, does it make my brain happy. But if I can make my machine do it for me, I will. There we go. Perfect. I declare that a perfect fit, and that clipped in right away. And then that's that nice speckle from the, again, not very feminine, much more masculine. That nice background of the kimono as well. There's definitely more available there for more keychains. And right now I am storing them in the plastic bags that they got shipped in because it's acrylic. It's going to scratch if you look at it wrong. And then that is the keychain bag right there. Is there anything else that I want to get distracted by right now? Probably not. I probably should start actually moving this over to sew. Okay. What we are going to do, and is this going to cause me more grief or less grief? I need to cut more zipper tabs though first. That's right. We're doing zipper tabs. I was totally getting distracted by the freaking keychains. Right, because I cut the zipper tabs all the red, so I was like, yeah, let's just do this while this is here. And then I got distracted by the speckle obi because, or kimono, because it's glorious. Okay, let's get this lined up right up here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice it down with my grumpy rotary cutter. There we go. All right, so we're going to do a cut of okay, so this is a layer of 3, and I need 2. So I don't need the 3rd layer. Get out of here. So actually I can just use this one here. Okay, actually, so we'll use this end right here, and we'll do the 3. Okay, so that's 2. So if I do a 3-inch cut here, then I can do, okay, so that's 2, and then double will be 4, and I need 4 each. So I need 8. So I need 2 3-inch cuts. 2 3-inch cuts will make 8, right? I don't know anymore. These numbers are going the opposite direction. So 12 is here, and then like 18 is here, which is completely counterintuitive to how my other, or completely counter to how my other one actually goes. Okay, so 3.5 inches is here. No, 3 inches is at the 15.5 inch mark. 12.5 plus 3 is 15.5, and it's like super crooked because it's warbly. Good, good. Slice. Okay, that is way harder than it needs to be. And also, I think this is actually the end I wasn't supposed to. Nope, that end is too small. Okay, well, we got. And it turned out to be 4 inches? Okay, well, that's easy to fix because at least I can cut down to 1.5 inches rather than it being smaller. Okay, so I need to actually, I don't know why I trimmed that off because we're just going to trim it here right now. This needs to be 1 inch wide. If you are new to the podcast or the live stream, whatever we're calling this these days, just know that this is the continuous creative chaos that typically happens. So if this is not something you enjoy, please feel free to move on. If it is something that you enjoy, or you enjoy seeing the Japanese fabrics and the upcycling of kimono and obi, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. And if you hit the bell, and by hitting it, I mean just tap it. It's much more polite to just tap it. Although that does sound terrible at this point. Anyway. If you tap the bell icon, you can get it to tell you whenever I come on live as well. Or if you follow me on Instagram, I always post the link there as well. Kids are playing with something noisy upstairs. Who knows what? Something. Just like skidded across the floor above my head. Hey. Okay, so is that wide enough? No. Okay, we're going to cut it down to where it is actually wide enough. It's wide enough starting there. There we go. And then we'll just trim it down to 1 inch completely, and then I'll just trim down whatever I can get out of it. And then we should be golden-ish. So we've got one. This will be at least 2 wallets worth of zipper tabs. Also, I will be coming back on after we eat dinner. I will not be on late tonight though, because we do have a race tomorrow, which means we have to be up early. Yes, I know it's on Mother's Day. No, I'm not 100% sure why I said yes. But it will be cute because the kids are going to race their like first race. So I guess that's the big thing, right? So, okay. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I only need 3 more pieces now. So realistically, I only need to cut a 3-inch piece. No, I'm going to cut a 4.5-inch piece from this. And then we can cut it down to 1.5 inches from there and 1 inch from the broad. Okay. Ding, ding, scoot, 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 scoot. There we go. Okay, and then we're cutting this down to 1 inch, right? Yeah, 1 inch from here. Gonna square it up on that line, right there. Square it up on that line there. Okay, it sounds like I might actually need to head upstairs so Daz can cook dinner. It sounds like the kids have decided to create absolute chaos. So I'll finish off these zipper tabs, and that actually works because then at this point the next step is to move everything over to the cutting table, or to the sewing room table. So cut this down. There we go. 1. And then we'll cut these down into 1.5-inch pieces, and then yeah, I'll head out to help wrangle children, and then I will be back on post dinner, which should be about 6, I would say. And we will be over at the sewing table because all of the cutting is done. I'm super excited about that, actually. Yeah, so I will move everything over off screen, and we will take the snaps with us and do the snaps over there, and I will see you all in about an hour, just under an hour probably. I will post a new link on Instagram letting you know when, and like I said, if you subscribe and hit the bell icon, that will let you know exactly when I'm going to be, or when I'm on already. So chat with y'all soon, and if not tonight, later on in this week.